violations of constitutional Bill of Rights, assault, theft of property, reckless endangerment with a firearm, not knowing incompetence, false statements, kidnapping. Like, it's open and shut. It's on its basis. One can't make an argument. And even that there's no reason to say that I can't go in the media area. I've been there before. And also, the thing that they're making about my gun, that's enumerated in the Constitution. I don't think anything else is. So I'm within my rights, meaning I'm protecting myself because, as you know, and most others know, that I've been threatened, attacked, and so forth on so many different occasions. And also, I don't have to explain anything because it's my constitutional guarantee. Hello? Yeah, right. They switched the meeting up, the public safety meeting, to City Hall. So I got information from the Richmond Time Dispatch, so I just headed straight there. So we're at Richmond City Hall right now, holding the press conference. Yeah, you're on it right now, yeah. I mean, how long do you need? I mean, I'll be out here until the press stops coming. So they stopped coming. They're already here.
See you later. Love you.
Who's this? Okay, this is City Hall. Okay, so who might be here? Oh, hey, John. All right, awesome. All right, thanks, John. Yeah, this is Chris. Awesome. Oh, hey, my apologies for that. I heard information from Brandon Shalita, who's standing right here. He's a reporter. That Times Dispatch was, or that they switched the meeting from the police headquarters, and they moved it to City Hall. Okay. All right. Thanks. Peace. Jonathan Arthur. He's an attorney. I might be using his services. I've already used his services, but there's public information. He took the entire video of right there, and he's on his way right now. So if you have questions, there's an attorney coming who specializes in this field, who eyewitnessed the whole thing and videotaped most of it. Okay.
So the main purpose of this press conference today is just to show you do have the right to be on city property. Break it down for me. Explain to me what the main purpose is.
The main purpose of this is to scold the people who are lying about what is irrefutable fact that's caught on videotape, and to show that they are ridiculous liars acting in dishonor, that these people swear an oath to uphold the Constitution, and that every single one of their actions that I have shown contradicts what they swear an oath to uphold, which is the basis of the government, and that what they're accusing me of doing, I have proof that I'm not doing, and anything that they use as disparaging comments against me is my constitutionally enumerated right, and that I don't even agree to go into any sort of contract with them. I can do what I want, and I'm not the one, like the Richmond City government, that's engaged in fraud, that puts children into, the hands of known pedophiles with the exchange of lots of money, false accusations. I'm not the one who's going around carrying a deadly weapon and using it in an unlawful and reckless manner. And I'm not the one that's violating the law. I'm just pointing out that the government serves man, and that, we have proof that the government acts outside of the law, and no one can dispute it. I know what words mean. Nobody can play these little shit games. They can lie. People like Lieber can lie. people like Henry Marston Ladd, like Michael Pollan, bullshit and dissemble, being a completely fucking hack. That's what I call Michael Pollan. Fucking hack. And you know, they write an article, there's, you know, disputable proof to the contrary. They write things like, well, it may seem irrefutable, you know, well, what do you say? It may seem counterintuitive to separate the First and the Second Amendment. You can't separate any parts of the Constitution. That's all the law. You can't say just because something is the 10th part of the Bill of Rights, then it's any less important than the first, but it goes in this direction. Number one is free speech. That's the only thing I was using. Number two, that's the right to bear arms. Let's get into more specifics and talk about Article 1, Section 13 of the Virginia Declaration of Rights. That gives context to Amendment 2 of the Bill of Rights. But what these jokers do, they go, oh, I said, you're violating the law. I told the magistrate he was violating the law. You know, in his mishandling of the lawful arrest warrant. And he says, under what statute? You give me case law. I said, I don't need to give you case law. I'm citing the Fourth Amendment to the Constitution. I'm putting my information down there. That becomes my paper. God creates man, and man creates government. Government is a magistrate of the people. That means that government works for you, and you, but even including me. It's clear. There's no disputing it. We can go down any sort of way these people want to mislead the story, and it all comes back to the same effing place. These people are full of shit. They lie. They violate the law. They have no honor. And I told the magistrate, as you heard, as this is all on videotape, by me coming down here to fill out these arrest warrants, you're violating the law. Ray Tarasovic is violating the law. I demanded to speak to Ray Tarasovic when I demanded the commanding officer on duty, and nobody stepped forward to identify themselves. None of these people properly identified themselves. They misidentified me. I'm a man. Whatever sort of name that anybody else beside that has given me, they know that anyways. What's a parking enforcement people too? I'm not to be trifled with right now.
I do have to hit before long.
I'd like to talk to Jonathan Arthur, who's an attorney who will be here. So I want to get you on camera saying this is an eyewitness that witnessed the whole thing, and let's get what he says instead of just what I say.
Do you have his contact information?
He's on his way.
Okay.
He's on his way, and he was sent to the wrong place on purpose by these degenerate motherfucking liars in here. And when you know I call these people degenerate motherfuckers, like with everything else, I always have proof. So he's on his way over here. This is an attorney who eyewitnessed the whole thing. So I think you would be pretty derelict in your duty if you didn't stay here at least for a few minutes while he came from one place where the meeting was supposed to be to another, trying to, you know, keep up with all
what's his name? I do have to hit that, but I'll get his name and I'd be happy to get him. What's his name?
His name is Eyewitness, and he's on his way over here right now.
Okay, gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
So, if I need to put pressure on some other people at the Time Dispatch, I'll do that. Yeah, I mean, because Tom Silvestri, he's guilty in doing this exact same thing, and there were lots of eyewitnesses, and he's further guilty in slandering me, knowing that he had his hands knee-deep in this kind of same bullshit with me, with the exact same fucking issue. So, you can play that game.
Well, then you got a right to talk to whoever you want.
Right, obviously. Right.
Yeah,
and Jonathan Michael Arthur is an eyewitness. He's an attorney who got the whole thing on camera. And if anybody else is being discussed, and I've never once talked to Graham Newball about this. And, I would like for him to contact me. I'd like to get that on tape. And I want him to contact me too. You can write that down or not write that down, but I'm telling you. And,
you can also go to my website. Everything's documented there.
What do you mean? What's on your website?
Interviews with him, other articles I wrote.
And all of this other stuff that I'm making overt claims of, there is overwhelming proof. And
Well, I mean, we have so he's an eyewitness to what was on the video, or? I mean, we have the video of it.
Even before the video, he was an eyewitness.
He was a witness to what
He was a
happened
witness
prior
to
to
the
that.
whole thing. He's the one that took the picture that they kept showing on the news. It says Ned Oliver on it, but it was J. Michael Arthur who took it, and it was he said he's just strictly into getting out information about what happened during this incident, and that he doesn't he's not taking credit for it, but he's the one that took the picture. He was the eyewitness, and he's an attorney who specializes in this sort of actions and behavior. And one of the law firm that he works at, the law firm of Thomas Roberts filed a FOIA on my behalf against the Virginia State ABC Police when I filed an arrest warrant against Special Agent Thomas Q. Holland for an almost identical situation that had where they unlawfully searched me, came with their guns drawn against me like that little chick from UVA, except for a little worse than hers. So when she asked for $40 million, that means I must be getting ready to ask for like $1 billion, and I'm not stuttering or joking. I'm gonna make every claim. These people, they have no fucking authority. They tell me shit, and I tell them, fuck you, shit. Because I'm not the one that's violating the law. They are, and I have overwhelming proof from the election fraud to the violations of the basis of the Constitution of the Federal Reserve Bank, the connections between people on the Economic Development Authority and Dominion Power, the Federal Reserve Bank, were pulling the strings on these people. I've named all these people. It's on videotape when I just simply start naming the members of the Economic Development Authority and who they work for, having Snow White, aka Kathy Graziano, cutting off my microphone. I have interesting video of Tom Silvestri cutting off my microphone when I start talking about how geopolitics and local politics actually works in an irrefutable manner. Nobody can debate me on this. All they can do is make up bullshit, assault me, conspire to try to kill me, conspire to try to have me arrested, and then like the media is like, well, Chris Dorsey, is this, and Chris Dorsey is that. Like, came to me like I'm like some sort of, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for?
Psychopath almost,
Well, they can have their opinion on that, but what I'm saying is,
untrustworthy.
Refute the facts. Like, it's spelled out. South Park. Kanye West. These people are like, Kanye West. It's like, do you like fish sticks? Yes. What are you, a gay fish? That's what I'm saying to these people. I don't know what they don't fucking get. It's prima facie. All the evidence is out there. Whatever they're accusing me of, I have video evidence that my accusers are actually doing that to me. It's beyond dispute. It's beyond refute. And then when you go like, oh, well, what's Chris Dorsey do? Oh, well, they say he's a local gadfly. But actually, I go in that building right there. You know what that building is, Brandon? That building right there? That's what they call the General Assembly building. My last paid job, I would go down there in the PBS video, and I would lay out for the public of the world how international geopolitiks work. And I would have the state capitol police harass me as I'm going in and out of those places. Also, one of the people who filmed me in there, for one of my paid sessions where I debate people from the Hill magazine, or the Independent UK, one of the video recorders, I had her and Bobby Stitt involved in another false accusation against me. And what I was doing there was I was exposing Bruce Tyler for his conflict of interest. I don't know Bruce. We go way back. These people can't refute my claims. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. If I didn't, I would be in jail. Somebody would sue me. I'm begging somebody. Fucking try to sue me, fucker. I will countersue you. Because you don't have a legal leg to stand on. This is for everyone out there. It's all laid out. Google International Banking Cartel. Do you know how money works? You know,
Do I mean, I have a pretty good idea. But I bet you'll have.
I mean, all you have to do is do a Google search for international banking cartel. And there's one 25-minute video that explains it, and then there's 3 additional that give it more context. But it's called international banking cartel. If you Google that term, you start seeing my face under the images because I go on television and talk about irrefutable proof. Oh, and I go beyond that. We contact, who's that guy? DPB Smith from legal counsel from the Federal Reserve Bank. We contact their spokespeople and we say like, yeah, we have evidence that you're violating the law. Can you explain yourself? What part of the Constitution gives a private central bank authority over the government of the United States? They can't explain any of that. It's very simple. Smarter people than myself show me this. I'm not a brilliant person, but I gotta cut through bullshit. I don't know that. You got a good purpose in it, dude. Not great, but you'll develop that over time. Here's the name of this purpose. Their rules are the house always wins, but the rules of this is the house is unlawful and has no legitimate authority, and according to this document, must be overthrown, demolished, abolished, whatever sort of terminology, and then clearly violating Article 3. Again, I filed claims in that federal courthouse across the street, and I have documented proof that I have authority over all these fuckers. And I was given to you by Judge John Hughes. I mean, I know that all laws are wicked and all laws are moral, but just even going down their path, or their written statutes and codes, I can trample on that too. I mean, however they want to do it.
I don't mean to cut you off. We've talked for a long time, and I definitely want your side of the street on all this. I do have to. I got to head back soon, but do you have any idea when this voting is going to be? Is that him?
I don't. Nah, I can't talk from here.
You know that?
Oh, there he is. There he is.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, Brandon Shalini with the Richmond Time Dispatch.
How you doing?
Good to meet you, Jonathan.
So yeah, I mean, I was stalling. My apologies because they switched the location of the meeting, and I found out luckily you called and you were on the phone while we went to the magistrate's office and so forth. But yeah, I mean, basically, I'm done. I told you everything. That's the eyewitness. Well, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, Jonathan, tell me what you saw the other day.
Saw Mr. Dorsey being carried out of the head of the consultation. Question as to whether or not Mr. Dorsey was going to be able to continue. So that's on the phone. Once the cops paid Mr. Dorsey, everyone tried to figure out what was going on.
Now, where were you at in relation to Chris Dorsey when this happened? Were you sitting?
I was sitting in the audience, and I looked over and saw Mr. Dorsey being escorted out.
Now, were you there just by chance, or?
I know I was there for the moment.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha.
I was there.
And then you actually saw the interaction between Mr. Skinner and.
I did not see the initial interaction. By the time I saw what was going on, the initial interaction was Mr. Dorsey.
Okay, and then you saw what happened after the session.
I followed him out.
And what happened after he was actually escorted out?
You had a question?
Yeah.
Everyone was a bit tense. In that area, a couple of cops holding on to him.
Also, my apologies, but were you out in the hallway when the police were picking me up and ripping my gun off my holster?
I didn't see movement towards the weapon. All I would assume the officers were going to see. I didn't see them take Mr. Dorsey out of position and carry him
walk outside. What do you make of this whole deal?
So I haven't seen any of the footage involving the initial interaction. But I'm always generally concerned when a citizen of President Richmond politically active like that is banned from the city hall. That kind of, that's First Amendment implications and the implications of the United States and the Constitution. It may cause concern.
Now, are you planning to represent the schools? Yes. What kind of job? Okay. So, I'm sorry.
Thomas H. Robertson Associates.
Any other thoughts you'd like to share out?
Not particularly. I'd be interested to see what initially led on to the city council deciding whomever it was that they called to ban Mr. Dorsey for life. I think it's a fairly severe measure, especially in light of political speech and the constitutional rights for the people to redress.
I would just like to point out, in context, I never agreed to any of it. It was all under duress, and I filed, signed, NA, and actually, Abijoy Burnett, as witnessed by Mr. Arthur, witnessed, and we all witnessed, the people who told me I was banned from City Hall scatter like cockroaches while I'm on City Hall property, with my property lawful, just because they didn't want to be asked questions about the bullshit that they just tried to pull. So, I mean, as you can see, I'm not banned from City Hall property. Again, and this is where I was standing when the police scattered like dirty, filthy cockroaches. No offense to cockroaches. So, that's okay. My apologies.
So, let me get you
Jonathan Michael. Jonathan Arthur.
how do you spell it?
J-O-N-A-T-H-A-N.
J-O-N-A-T-H-A-N. How do you spell it?
A-R-T-H-E-N.
Just like that?
And I was here initially as a private citizen, watching everything going on. And I knew I worked with this before, and I was unrelated to the law. And was just concerned to see anything like that. Because it was a public forum. Discuss how the city works and how the city is running. Like I said, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the initial photographs, the initial interaction.
I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
All right.
I disagree with all the stuff you said about my colleagues, but you got a right to say it.
Oh, well, I mean,
So,
again, that's part of the issue.
That's my card.
I mean, I know you got
I got all his interviews and everything up on my site if you want. And I think I also got the interaction in an article on
Do
my
you think it's a good
blog
idea
too.
to write a...
Okay, the initial
Yeah, what he was filming when it happened.
Contact him, would you do that?
It was kind of scary.
Yeah, I'm not pleased.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I'll talk to him.
it's not the first time he's carried his weapon in either, so that reaction, especially
I don't appreciate it, so...
in light of the fact it was like, oh, it's all about the weapon,
and
and
make
it
him look foolish.
really wasn't.
I've heard, I guess, rumor that there's bad people. I'm not exactly sure.
I'm familiar with in there. They're familiar with me, so
The column wasn't about you.
told me I had no First Amendment rights in my own front yard, but I can sit in the press booth and film them.
about me because
guns.
There's
Right.
interesting things going on.
I mean, I read it.
More or less why I'm here is
Yeah,
because
yeah.
the people have the right.
So you know, I mean,
Right, and
as you
especially in
see,
public. I mean,
not
if it was a
interested
private
in
meeting
if you were
on
going
private property,
Hey, this is Brandon.
but when it's open to the public and then, oh, well, you can't come in
I just want to
because
show
we don't
you
like
how
you, that
bad it is.
kind
You
of
can do that real quick if you'd like.
No, that's what
sets a bad precedent. Yeah.
Now, who told you? Let me,
And the life bans.
Who actually said
Yeah,
that?
Nobody that I know of.
Yeah,
that
it's-
I'm banned.
Well, then where does that even come from?
That
Yeah.
said that I was trespassing
on public
on
property.
what are the road pirates?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Road pirates. Road pirates.
Oh, I don't know.
People in a costume uniform that carry a gun around.
Oh, gotcha.
Right.
So you're like a
Thug.
Right, is that what you're saying?
Richmond police.
Yeah, third precinct
I call
especially.
them degenerate, scum-sucking enemies of the country.
They told you that you were trespassing.
They
No,
said-
it was a case where if you go back on that, you got the paper says if you go back on City Hall, you will get arrested for trespassing.
Well, they're not doing it, and they didn't do it from the initial point, so it just shows that, and also I signed it, NA, which means I don't agree to any of the
So
things.
there's actually a document that says if you go back on, and you saw
From what I gathered from the conversation, I haven't read the document.
Oh, gotcha.
The document's not even.
And that's if they even filed it.
on the internet. It's on Style Weekly's Twitter account.
Especially, what precinct
a
is
document that says that if you go back on
These
city-
people like Alex Bryan and Ned Oliver, they don't know that they don't know, but they were joking around at the fact that this doesn't even apply because of the way he signed it. And it clearly, there's a picture of me signing it, and it says NA. It means non-associate.
So, I mean, but let me just ask you, is there a document that you've seen that says if you go back onto city property, you're trespassing?
There is not a lawful document that I've seen that I have read to comprehend, or the average person could comprehend, a document. It's not signed in the proper places. It's not dated. It's up on the
So
internet.
you're saying it's an unlawful document, but what does that document say? Or that's a document that's on.
You tell me, dude. It's up on the internet.
Okay.
You tell me.
It's more word of mouth.
I've found it. I've posted it on my internet page. If you want to know a
So
lot
it's
of
on your
things, it's
page?
like, it's on my. Have you looked
Okay,
at my
gotcha.
page?
I did. I looked at it to look at the videos, but I didn't see it.
Okay. Well, how many times do you think I posted that document on?
Quite a few,
Several
at
times.
least.
And I told
Well,
them.
Just go on his Fed book.
But again, with the eyewitnesses, I told them I'm going to sign it in such a way. I told the police where this will not apply to me. So, like everything else, they don't know what the fuck the law is. I'm telling them what the law is, and then I'm demonstrating it, and then they don't have a leg to stand on any of it. Right?
I hear you.
All right. Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, man.
Good to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, good to talk to you, man. Yeah, I'll take
Like I
a
said,
look.
yeah, check my website out. It's got all the stuff for it.
Okay.
So-
And that's
No, I
the
don't.
website that you.
Yeah, the Lord, yeah, the one that's on the card is
I'm not
my,
sure how the document that I saw in my understanding, interaction wasn't that they officially banned, but that they said if you come back,
I see. Right, and also let's clarify that I was on property with my gun minutes after this was given to me, and a reporter that I've known fairly well for a number of years made these people scatter while we're all standing on city property discussing this minutes after, and you see me walking back and forth off of city property, and you can put this in the paper, flicking them off and them doing nothing because that is protected speech, and because I haven't done anything wrong, and in
And you still
redundancy,
plan to go to the meetings to
I plan on doing nothing but taking out lawful arrest warrants and seeing that the law is upheld. That's what I plan on doing.
So,
If that
are you still
includes-
planning on going to meetings at some point?
I
Or do
might.
you regularly
I
go?
mean, wait, have they banned me? I mean, that seems to be an angle you want to play.
No, I'm just asking the question. I'm just curious. You've made that an issue that they've told you that you can't.
Well,
do
I
this
just told
property.
you, like,
I'm
why don't we
just
go
curious
inside
if
right
you're
now? Come on,
actually
let's go
going to
inside right
No,
now.
that's all right. I'm just curious.
That's all right.
Let's get him.
Let's go
That's all
inside.
right. I believe you.
I gotta head back.
I appreciate you talking to me.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, do the same. All right. Well, what do you think, man? I mean, I went in there to file arrest warrants, and he was on the phone during the whole thing. We filmed most of it.
Yeah, until I got ordered to stop.
Said that there was no probable cause. They never identified themselves. I wrote clear, and they told me to stop filming after a while, but I filmed the arrest warrant, and I gave additional context. I want to subpoena whatever sort of video equipment is in that office. This guy was flicking me off as he's showing me these things, like going,
Yeah, you see that, you see that, you see that.
I see all the signs you're giving me, and I'm taking note of that. Then he started laughing and nervous. He was constantly laughing and nervous. There's a guy named Magistrate Murray who never properly identified himself, came out in an intimidating manner, kicked us out of the room. You know, I mean, basically, they are not going to do anything, and I told them they were violating the law, even me having to go down there because the crime was caught on camera, and it was seen by tens of thousands of people, and it was carried out by the Richmond Police Department. So by me going in there, Ray Tarasovic was violating the law, so I took out an arrest warrant on Ray Tarasovic. Dwight Jones, Steve Skinner, Bobby Stick, Burgess, all police involved. I mean, I'll send it to you as soon as we get it, but I might be able to issue you the warrant.
No, they won't give you a copy. You can't have a copy of it.
However, when we'll show this in a video, I started giving him orders. He had his right arm up. I lowered mine and I said, "You work for me. I give you orders. I'm ordering you to execute this arrest warrant. I'm ordering you this right now, and I'm going to subpoena all the audio interaction. You know, because we can subpoena our conversation, his account of the conversation, and the eyewitness and my account of the conversation. So this is it. I mean, wasn't joking about a billion or quadrillion-dollar lawsuit. This is it, because this could be class action. This could be involved in the other stuff, because, you know, Thomas Roberts, he filed a very similar FOIA when the Virginia State ABC did the exact same thing. And that wasn't even the first or the second time that's happened. This is like happening over and over and over and again, and they just keep get caught violating the law in like a textbook manner, and then the people, wherever you go to get some sort of satisfaction, I explain, you're my magistrate, you work for me, you're a magistrate of the people, I'm giving you a lawful order, you can't dispute it, and they just say, well, at this point, we don't have probable cause. That's after he gave me legal advice, telling me to give him context, because what I wrote basically at the beginning is what happened, and that anyone viewing this document can look on the internet and see video evidence proving all of my claims. And he says, we don't go by video evidence. And so I explained to him orally, in great detail, exactly what happened from the beginning to the end, wrote down on the paper that I explained this to magistrate in detail, and then I wrote down additional information. And as soon as I finished with that additional information, he says, I can't do this. We don't have probable cause. Judging from the information I have.
Well, I don't know enough about criminal law to know what the magistrate should do.
Well, then he said something about they were doing an lawful arrest on
Yeah,
you.
that they were carrying out a
lawful arrest, and there's nothing.
As I do, it's incredibly difficult to get the state, to convince the state to enforce the laws.
Sure. Right, but the thing is, they got caught so red-handed. And it's such like a open and shut. I've studied other people who do similar things to this to know what to say and what to do. And I know from, what do you call that, trial and error, that the best way to operate in this is to act in a completely confusing manner to the police. Ask them multiple
Talk to them.
all at once. Right, because that's all.
Just talk to them, it confuses them.
Why am I under arrest? After they tell me, and again, first, before they told me anything, they were going to haul me off to jail. Then they told me I was under arrest. Then they told me I wasn't under arrest. Then they told me I was under arrest, never once saying what the charges were. Never once identifying an arresting officer or a commander on duty. So it's like, every step that they could have screwed up, they did. They didn't get one thing right. And eventually, what I'm showing also is my claim, which is man creates government, not the other way around, but they don't have the authority. I don't have to, apologize for exercising my constitutional advantage rights, and that's what they want me to do. And even doing that, they don't even have their own bullshit statutes to violate my rights. They got no right to say that.
Got the violent enforcement apparatus in the state.
Yeah.
Right. But under the law, under the real law, that's the opposite. That's the antithesis of it.
No, they were at the cops, the police officers. They were the officials.
They do the opposite. And
Sometimes I wonder.
I mean, they couldn't have violated the Constitution anymore.
Well, yeah, they could.
Oh, yeah, they definitely could have.
Yeah, don't say they couldn't.
They could have shot me. I mean,
Yes, exactly.
Steve Skinner had in mind with the gun thing, because his hands were so close to my gun. I can't make things up as I go through these things. If I start feeling uneasy about a situation, I'm going to say it right there, because that's the only way I can survive doing what I do. And I saw this guy in my space threatening me. The video shows that from the beginning. The thumbnail of the YouTube video shows that.
Yeah, you can almost count his nostril hairs. He was that close.
And he's reaching over me, and I'm videotaping with a gun, with my gun on my side like this, going back away from him with both hands, and he is, as soon as I wasn't getting anywhere with Silver, because I think Silver was I think he was nervous. I think he was upset. And he helped out as much as he could. But you see, not everybody jumped right in and, even made sure I was okay. There was a few people in comparison to all the people who saw it. And after that point, I was like, man, this guy is going to drag me out. I know there's no confidence in sense to him. So that's when I was like, let's go with your hand. And so I think, and because Parker Agalesto stated to Silver that this was pre-planned because of Charles Samuels doesn't like Chris. Now that's the president of the council. I got an arrest warrant for him too. And again, with this reaching across, I didn't know whether he was going to pretend like I was reaching for my gun and then have me shot by the fucking police, because that has been threatened on the internet against me.
The situation of getting drug out is, if it made anyone else comfortable with that, would not.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Citizen. It makes me exceptional.
Well, I guess we could cut, but I need to do something, and I may talk to you about doing something.
Yeah, well, you can come in, try to talk to us, and see what we can do.
I mean, because I want to maintain my sovereignty too. I don't want to really sign away,
We want to keep voices like yours in the city hall.
We're going beyond City Hall, right? Because this is the way the government functions, below and above.
Yep.
As above, so below.
Corrupt from the top down.
Yeah. So like I was saying, same thing has happened right across the street. This was Richmond government, then it was state government. I've had the federal government come to my house, so it's like they're all working together. So it's like separating them and saying, I get what you're saying, and I appreciate that, because I do take more pride possibly in the city government, because this is closest to where I live. But they're all connected, and they're all working together, and they're all lying on each other's behalf. And like I was telling Brandon, I started just reading out the names of the board members of the Economic Development Authority and where they work, and I've had my microphone cut off when I would say, Greta Harris, Federal Reserve Bank of Richmond, cut the mic. So, and every time that I get up and they want to drag me out, whether it's out of the Time Dispatch back in 2009 or City Hall in 2014, I'm going to be talking about the Federal Reserve Bank. every single time, no matter how much they attempt to get me to get off the subject of what controls the government unlawfully, I will not.
You heard the rumor that they infiltrated the Richmond Occupy. The Federal Reserve.
I knew that from the beginning. That's why we started spreading all that bullshit rumors. Because I know, here's what started it all. And I was telling everybody this in the beginning. I got an unsolicited email from a man named Lieutenant James Lane from the Virginia State Capitol Police. They, according to Naomi Klein, Naomi Wolf, and dozens of other much more well-known reporters than myself, documented the fact. How you doing, sir?
How are you?
Oh, you know, I'm always doing good. I have John Belials filing a false report saying I pulled a fire alarm in this building. But what he doesn't know is I have that guy, that's the chief of the fire department, on camera saying that it was a computer glitch. And John Belials is fucking wasted and he's on whatever pills he's on at the time that he slams the door after making this false accusation. So again, whenever they make an accusation against me, I have proof. The shit about James Lane and the Federal Reserve Bank Police and the Virginia State Capitol Police working together and me getting an unsolicited email before I even knew what the word occupy meant, I got proof of that.
Keep filming.
Right. So I was telling everyone that the Federal Reserve Bank Police was in there and that they infiltrated the group before the group even
I
started.
didn't even know that shit existed until after it was all said and done.
And
My fucking mind.
I've been doing this for a while. And the fact that I have irrefutable proof that was on, like, lots of websites reported in the Richmond Free Press that the Richmond Police, they paid and claimed the whole fucking thing. And Bill Nelson, he was in on it. Army Intelligence, they were the groundwork. They were the ones that keep
IRS also was in on it.
They were in on it too, but I'm saying the
Bill
ground.
Nelson, he was big, tall black guy, skinny little black guy.
Yep, Army Intelligence. But the see, I've known Bill Nelson for like 6 years before that, and I never knew him as anything other than Army Intelligence. I knew he would somewhat maybe get involved in some political things, like, you know, at arm's length. That's all I knew Bill as a narc and Army Intelligence. And when I say narc, I mean like drug narc. And like, again, they can't tell me anything. They tried to kill me. That's another thing. This guy, Brandon Schuler, he wants to make me sound like outrageous, and I'm like, I'm saying that they tried to kill me. The Richmond, General District Court said it was simple assault. But anyone who knows anything, and the eyewitness there never refutes my claim that these people who are officers of the Democratic Party, are association officers, conspired to kill me. And that there's videotape evidence, and all one has to do is look at the flagpole at the SunTrust building on Main Street, and they'll see where this guy was banging my head up there. And the fact that SunTrust Bank, they got rid of all of the videotape evidence, and I immediately asked for it. The Richmond police covered up the investigation, didn't do anything about it until I started videotaping my conversations with Victoria Pearson's office, and putting conversations with Ray Tarasovic on there saying, I appreciate you stop covering up crimes and stop this systematic harassment of the political purpose. I said this to everyone. I dot the I's and cross the T's. There's no disputing it. I showed it. They started even lying in court. We started documenting that Wayne Powell and his partner Christian Parrish were lying. And if they can't dispute it, these guys are lawyers. If they can dispute anything I'm saying, they would sue my ass.
It's probably true. Well, as I can see the definition.
Well, and that particular thing, that stems from a lot of shit, but it mainly stems from the fact that I was proving that Wayne Powell was stealing money from a co-attorney named Mr. Line. But he was also stealing from a lot of his clients. And the National Law Review, they laid it out all for me. I just had to find the information. And like, I brought it up during a Chesterfield Democrats meeting. Where David Hunsinger, who was an alright dude, I guess, and Wayne Powell, who's a freaking as crooked a lawyer as Eric Cantor. And I go, oh yeah, you guys know about this. And then Abby Easter, And her and Jim Macklin, they run the 7th district for the Democratic Party. They always put all these hacks up against cancer because, like, they got connections with cancer. And basically, Abby Easter starts chastising me and saying we all agreed that we weren't going to discuss Wayne Powell's theft from co-attorneys during this campaign. Oh, no, don't apologize. So, I mean, basically, they just make up a bunch of bullshit. And during the trial, first they lied to get, the trial they, delayed, saying that there were other witnesses, but actual eyewitness, Lou Shoemake, who was, unimpeachable, and he was like, I mean, it was shocking. This guy tried to fucking kill me in front of somebody else. You don't see that thing every day. It's something you remember. You remember the details of it.
Oh, so, am I right at work? I see people trying to kill me. Generally, it's the state.
Right. Well, this guy was a Bar Association attorney and was an officer of the Democratic Party and works for Wayne Howe, Dwight Jones, J.J. That's the Democratic Party that they got into. And then I hate to call it Democratic because we're pro-Democratic. But
I make no distinction.
there's none.
Two chiefs in the same man.
And right, same shit, different pile. Right,
Same pile.
It all lands on you.
right. It all lands on you, and they're neither Democratic nor Republican. But that this was the direct meeting after Jim Macklin and J.J. Miner started giving orders to a Richmond police officer who was inside a meeting that I'm a member of, the Democratic Committee. I've been a member there for almost a decade. Been to every meeting, more meetings than almost anybody else. That's what I do. I'm consistent. I go to everything. So Jim Knight, I was like, Jim, I see your stagecraft. Nice work, because he thinks he's a high-ranking Mason, right? I'm a Knight Commander over him. So, I go, nice stagecraft, Jim, but you're not going to get away with it. We know you're full of shit. And he goes, Chris, they're going to arrest you tonight. And this is already after I filed a complaint. I called the police department, filed a complaint for Dwight Jones unlawfully parking, illegally parking, double parking, multiple vehicles, downtown, and then this is what he did before the meeting. And then Macklin starts saying, they're going to arrest me tonight. Then J.J. Mulder starts threatening to arrest me. Reva, she saw all this. They targeted her, but they were never going to arrest her. But I filed a complaint with Victoria Pearson. I got a letter back, which I'll show you, and I've shown members of the Commonwealth Attorney's Office saying, this is some of the background on what happened at the meeting before this guy tried to kill me. They saw it. They can't dispute that they saw it. It's all over the internet. I've sent them email copies of this. And this was the meeting after they said that they were going to arrest me, failed to arrest me. I filed a complaint, got a letter back from the General Counsel's office saying that Captain Elfline had violated policies of the Richmond Police Department, and that they were handling it internally, and if I had any further questions, to contact them. I had this document, posted it on the internet, and immediately started calling to get more information. None of these people, including the attorney who signed his name to the paper, who wasn't Pearson, whose name formerly was Benjamin, none of these people have got a document. Oh, these are all FOIA requests that I'm talking about. I only post my FOIAs on the internet now, because I know how to file a FOIA. All I have to do is call up and ask for the information. I usually follow it up with something in writing, but not always. But I always put it on I know the FOIA. I'm always Dave, nobody has ever complied lawfully with any of my dozens of FOIA requests. Not even close. So, I know the FOIA law. I have been in close contact with the government liaison with the state of Virginia regarding FOIA laws. I post them on the internet. I mean, yeah. That's another thing about the law.
Well, read the law. And obviously I'm not offering you legal advice.
Right. You're just telling me to read the law.
I'm telling you to read the law. Because there's certain ways that this game is going to get out.
What do you think about I have gathered things through FOIA requests that show basically irrefutable proof of election fraud. And before I've done that, I've filed papers in a federal court and videotape me showing reporters, and then they'll have those videotapes removed. And then also, all the time I'm doing this, I'm having other people document that they're seeing this. And so basically, what I'm saying is, I'll always, listen to the words of somebody more knowledgeable than myself. But, basically, we have kind of taken everything to, the degree to which they don't have anything more to say. They can go, oh, you don't do this, you go here. You don't talk to me, you talk to me. And, I'm not doing this, and then they're back in such a corner that they can't extricate themselves in any possible way. They just say, oh, yeah, I will.
There's just some things that are...
It seems like it goes around and around in a circle. The more I do what they say I should do, the less...
You get done.
The less I get done. Right. And so therefore, I comprehend that, and that's where I invoke my right as a man, because going by their rules, they're never going to, that's why I like the idea of a grand jury just in this concept, because these people can't plead the Fifth Amendment during this, because basically it all goes back to the point where it's like, oh, well, I'm yelling out, not yelling, but, speaking out FBI agents who are covering all of this up on live radio with other law enforcement agents on the radio with me, and that seems to be my last word. Basically saying, Mike Morehart, director of the FBI, is a crook. I confronted him with this information. There were dozens of witnesses. I'm making this claim. He's a degenerate scum-sucker, and I have proof. And so with Cameron Cripps, who's an FBI agent who was told in detail, and who basically has done nothing but cover this up. And when I say he's covered up election fraud, what I mean is he's sucked out information from myself and through other individuals, and then gone and informed the people who he's allegedly supposed to be investigating of what we're looking for. And this is the FBI that's doing this. And I have proof, and nobody can refute it, and all they pretty much say about me is, Chris Dorsey is a wacko who thinks that, Jewish people control the world government.
Character assassination isn't easy.
Right. I mean, that's their character assassination, but that's a claim that I'm making that I have proof of. So, yes, we will get to that point, and that's why we'll be dealing in the billions and quadrillions, and I will be running that building very soon, and not these people, or else what these people say, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything because, again, they're making me sign a piece of paper. I'm laying out to them that this doesn't apply to them. I'm writing it out. I'm explaining it online, and then they're running away like little cowards from a 40-something-year-old person who is simply asking them questions about what they just did, while I'm allegedly violating whatever that they think that has any sort of legal standing that I signed, that I said I don't agree with, and then I'm going to sign in a certain fashion, and then I'm going to apply, and I'm just going to ignore it. So, again, we got our video tape. I was perfectly willing to walk through our brand say, hello everybody, I'm Chris Dorsey, and walk right out and say, we can do this, but they're afraid to get that on camera. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. I used to be afraid, but things didn't work out for me. If you're afraid of these people that the law states you have authority over, then we're all screwed. And I said, when one is afraid, when there's an individual afraid of these people, that just is like, that reverses everything around. That's why I keep saying, God creates man, man creates government. These people can't create some sort of artificial authority over me and take away rights that aren't granted by them. They're granted by the Creator. Or the fact that I'm born. People don't like the word God. I mean, that's the easiest way for me to say it, though. But anyway, that's the law, I think.
Yep. Alright, Chris, I gotta get
Well,
back to
you
work.
know, I'll give you a call. I'll give you a call tomorrow, and maybe I'll stop by the office.
Yeah, swing by 1 o'clock.
Appreciate it.
Nice meeting you.
Many thanks. I appreciate it because not everybody. It only takes a few people. Because there's a room full of people, and only few people did something. Now Nick, the Phillips, came out and watched. So he did a little something, but only 3 people. Yeah. All right. Thanks, man. All right. I'll talk to you soon. See ya.
All right.
Oh yeah. One more time. How you doing? You know, I'm always within the law. I haven't taken out an arrest warrant on you yet. But